2015 Toyota Highlander with the legendary leaking taillights. Letting a lot of water in, you can see it pooled up there. This one was replaced with a non-factory one, about $100, about a year or two ago. And looks like it's holding up. Every once in a while it gets a light condensation if it's really hot out, but for the most part, it's good. Held up just like the factory side. So we're gonna replace this one with another non-factory taillight. All right, the door's propped open just a little bit, and you have one of these trim tools, plastic trim tools, something like this. You can find them on Amazon. Don't need to take all these off, but we will just show you how easily they come off, get you access to everything. Just clip in, just pull firmly, but gently. Don't yank on them or you'll break them. Now you'll see these little white tabs here. These are actually going to pop out. You'll see a lot of them. This whole piece is going to come out. You just got to pry on it gently, firmly. I think there's a bolt in here, so I'm going to look around a little bit and then start to pry it off. All right, so you're going to work your way around. Pick one corner, just start pulling gently. And the whole piece is going to start to pop out. You will have, look up in there, I don't know if you can still have these tabs that go inside, so you're going to have to work those out. Don't crank on it. So that's the whole panel. You'll have some of these loops here. Those are going to hook up into the pillar, the different colored pillar that drops down around the sides of the window. It's not rocket science, you just gotta go slow and be gentle. And back here you can see all your controls, windshield wiper, tailgate lock, all the components to that. So if you had to replace something here on the back, it wouldn't be bad to change out. You'll notice these pieces that I took off. This makes it easier. So if you ever have to change a bulb, all you gotta do is pop that one panel off, not the whole panel. And these all came out cleanly. Sometimes you'll get these will pop out and stay in the metal trim. You can see all they do is they slide in, so you just gotta slide them back in. You'll see there's a lot of 3 down the side, you've got a bunch in the middle. So you just got to pick one corner, start prying gently but firmly, and then just work your way around the exterior. Wow, let's see, I might lower this gate down just a little bit, because you're gonna see we got 2 pins, probably a 10mm. Yeah, pin, and a 10mm. We'll disconnect these lights first, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so it is a 10mm back in there. I recommend using a longer 10mm socket and extension. I'm just gonna go up like that. It's not held on very tightly. The last thing will just be these pins. You can pinch in, and then coming around this side, you get these little plastic screws, or nuts. Those are 10mm as well. So just sneak a 10mm in there, start twisting that off. And once it falls off, that's fine, just leave it in there. You can dig that out later. You gotta put them on. So I'll keep taking these off, and then we should be ready to just push in on those white plastic pins right in there, and then the whole piece should come out. All right, so we got the little plastic caps off there. Try to do this with one hand. Start to pry up a little bit on the edge. And this will take 2 hands, so I'll show you after it's out. All right, so I lied. You got the 2 here. That's what these 2 little pieces were. We saw them on the edge of the trim that you kind of have to dig in there. 10mm wrench. One long one you'll need this for, and the only tab it has is this black one. And then I guess those white ones were actually, those white ones right there, those were actually for trim pieces, probably connected to that piece there. But yeah, that's basically it. Just clean it up. Look at the new one here. The new one, this one actually came with bulbs. So the only thing we're really reusing will be these plastic nuts and the little 10mm. Everything looks about the same as your factory. And supposedly it's certified. All right, so we got the new one here. We got the paint cleaned up a little bit. This looks, I don't notice a difference between aftermarket and factory. It's in pretty good shape. Even the little weird dot matches that one. All right, so we'll get this installed. Just gonna drop it in like that. Whoops. Drop it in like that. Line it up with the holes. It's easier when you have 2 hands. So maybe it'd be smart to start from this direction. Drop it in the hole on. I would drop it in on this side first, then come around, line it up, and then drop it in just like that, good as new, and then we'll get everything put back together. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'm gonna plug these back in, check the turn signals before I put everything back together. Make sure the bulbs work while I have this open. Once again, it's just put that 10mm back on there. Just make sure it's snug, don't break it. It's only plastic being held in. Then coming around, making sure these are tight. Once again, they're plastic, don't crank on just till it's firmly down and you don't get any movement in the taillight. But that's pretty much it. You just have to put the panel back in. Same as before, just start on an edge and just work your way around. The only thing you're gonna have to do is when you come up to these pieces here, remember you got the hook, so you're gonna have to pull down on this just a little bit. It's gonna hook in there, or no, yeah, it's gonna hook in there over this piece, so you can see right there. But as you can see, relatively easy fix, and maybe hour work if you're going slow. Last thing is, when you're putting this interior panel back in, just take this piece, this little piece from here to here, just take it out, put this panel in first, and then you can pop this. This will go underneath this one, and then down over this piece. There'll be 2 white pins in there. Just line those up, pop them back in. It'll make it going back in easier, and then it'll just take a little bit more time. You're gonna have to line up this piece here. If you pull on it, you can see there's tabs in there, and you just gotta line them up, and you just wiggle it around until everything lines back up, and then it's gonna snap into place. And then you will have a new water-free tail light. I'll try to find a link to post for this particular part.